Hello everyone and welcome back to round 3 of the F2 2022 Theo Pourchaire career mode. Yes, we return this weekend now at the Emilia-Romagna GP, of course, back at the iconic Imola circuit. The first time Formula 2 will ever head to Imola. Of course, if you missed out on last weekend's action from Saudi Arabia, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. Currently, we sit P3 overall in the Drivers' Championship. Felipe Drugovich, just like he did in real life in 2022, currently leading the way on 71 points. Jem Bollock-Bassi in P2, just ahead of ourselves, after an up and down opening few races to kickstart the year. But yeah, heading though in towards Imola this weekend, of course, a bit of a slower pace circuit than the opening 2 race weekends of the year, but fingers crossed we can have another good race result on the board. I just want to say as well a massive thank you to all of you for the continued support on the channel. At the time of recording this, videos are a little bit all over the place at the moment. I'm back out in Switzerland when this video is going live. We're about to hit, I think, in fact, we've just hit 87,000 subscribers, so a massive thank you to all of you. Less than 13k to go before the big goal of 100k by the end of the year. So yeah, still trying to hit that, so if you're not already, please do consider getting yourself subscribed as well for more Formula 1 related content. But yeah, heading though towards Imola this weekend. We've left the Middle East. We're back, of course, in Europe for pretty much the entirety now of the season. But yeah, fingers crossed we can try and get another win on the board this weekend, you know, starting just to build up a bit more momentum behind us in the car. And yeah, let's get out then, of course, as always, first of all, with qualifying. Formula 1 is finally back in 2022, and now you can rep your favourite teams. Of course, using the F1 store, every team now has merch lineups available, whether you're an Aston Martin fan, a Williams fan, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, the choice is completely up to you. But yeah, check out the F1 merch store down below for all the official releases from all of the teams. And of course, as always, if you use our links as well, you massively help support the channel. So yeah, give it a look and see if there's anything you like. Right, well, here we are then, down at Imola, ready for round 3. How can I not count to 3 anymore on F2 2022? I'm not too sure there, but we'll go with preset 4, and then we'll up the wings massively, ready for the start of this one. Of course, Imola, you do want quite a lot of downforce. Of course, the long run back down towards turn 1 there, have got to be a bit careful about that. And I mean, I've said we're going to go preset 4, and then I think I'm going to change just about everything on the car ready for the start of this one. So yeah, fingers crossed that we can try and get another good qualifying lap. And of course, last time round, we were unlucky to miss out on the pole by about half a tenth of a second. Will we be able to get closer this time round? Of course, back in Italy, of course, for the first time this year. We do race at both Italian GP circuits, though, over the course of this season. So we'll wait and see what we can achieve then. And on the long run down towards turn 1, I need to engage the sweat mode. Of the final corner, then this is going to be mighty close between ourselves and Felipe Drugovich up towards the line. Shortest run. We go P2 there. Drugovich actually able to pull out a little bit of time over the cars behind him there. I think that might be the biggest pole margin we've seen so far this year. But how close can we get to pole?
Grid is all set for the race tomorrow, but before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top 3, which are
Drugovich, Pourchaire, Ollie Caldwell.
The grid is set then. So that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow where we'll be live with all the action. And until then, goodbye.
Well, there we go then. Less than a tenth of a second again away from pole, but this time round we find ourselves on the front row of the grid for the Emilia-Romagna GP there. Ollie Caldwell just behind us in P3 and his Campos ahead of Liam Lawson and Jay Andaruva there. And I mean, look at that. 3 cars separated by 7/100ths of a second just behind. Championship-wise, though, it does mean Dragovic again just pulls out a further 2 points at the top of the table. We're still tied with Jem Bollock-Bassi in P2, but we've got a little bit of a gap to the cars behind there. But yeah, starting P9 then, ready for the sprint race today. Of course, that also means that MP Motorsport open up the gap as well ahead of ART. But yeah, we're going to start P9 then, of course, for the sprint race today. We'll start P2 for the main event tomorrow. Let's see if we can keep it clean and tidy and try and take some points at Felipe. This channel is proudly sponsored by Bybit, the official crypto partner of Red Bull's Formula 1 team. I've been using their platform for my personal crypto savings over the last few months, and when they got in touch to support the channel, I was super excited. Currently, they're offering you guys a special new promo for the first 100 of you to deposit $10 or more onto the platform. You'll get another $10 free. Also, 5 lucky winners will get their initial deposit doubled up to $1,000. That means if you deposited $1,000 onto the platform using my codes below, you could be within a chance to get another $1,000 completely free. We've seen the landscape around crypto drastically change over the last couple of years, and I genuinely believe it holds an important place in our future. However, please be careful as always when trading, as you are liable to lose money. But if you're interested and you're 18 or older, click the link down below to get started and see why Red Bull and myself, as well as thousands of others, trust Bybit as their crypto.
Welcome back to Imola as we get ready for another glorious day of Formula 2 action. It's 3.1 miles around Imola with 19 turns to master, 9 right-handers and 10 left. And note as well that Imola is one of the few tracks that's driven anti-clockwise. Keep an eye on the exit from turn 18. A good exit there leading into the circuit's only DRS zone will probably be the setup for some of today's best overtaking opportunities. As we await the start of another hugely anticipated Formula 2 race, I'm joined again by Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as a former GP2 champion, can we get some insight to what is running through these young drivers' heads as they sit out on the grid?
Ciao Alex, it's a pleasure to be here. There are nervy moments, there is no doubts about that. Mental strength is the key to remaining calm and focusing on the upcoming race. Formula 2 is so competitive and all of these drivers knows that they are going to be pushing each other all of the way. In this sport, you have to be able to control your nerves.
Right, well here we are then on the grid, ready for round 3 of the year here for the Emilia-Romagna sprint race. 13 laps ahead of us. It feels quite weird. Of course, the sprint race in this is longer than the sprint race we get in Formula 1. But yeah, like I said, I think the high wings are working quite nicely for us, ready for the race today. Fingers crossed we can keep it clean and tidy. And like I said, the big goal is to try and close up some points on Felipe Dragovic, who starts this one right alongside me. But yeah, 13 laps today, 18 laps tomorrow. Quite long races this weekend, but I think it is. I said that with confidence. I don't know who's on the pole. Got to try and get a good start though here today. Like I said, Dragovic has got to be the goal to beat. We just need a weekend where we get 2 races without any dramatics, but Imola Turn 1 can be quite scary. Well, it is Amaury Cordeel then that will start on the pole here for the F2 sprint race from Imola. Van Amersfoort really do need to try and get some big points on the board this weekend, but going to try and build up some temperature then into the tyres. We'll wait and see what we can do there. Of course, Dragovic, our big championship rival, just behind us. Jem Bollock-Bassi, though, even further down the order, really does already start to feel like Jem Bollock-Bassi just had a good weekend now in Bahrain. So there we go, purple lineup. Of course, we'll angle the car slightly towards the right-hand side to give us the best run down towards turn 1. But need to try and get a good start here today as we wait for the final cars to line up on the grid. Let's do this thing then. Here from Imola, waiting on those 5 red lights. Pretty much dump the throttle. Lights out and away we go. And look at that, immediately a slightly better launch than Ollie Caldwell just in front of us. There is Caldwell and Lawson, both going to move defensive on the run down towards turn 1 here. Felipe Drugovich just waiting in the wings further back as Caldwell. Oh, we're going to go very, very late on the brakes there. Locked up slightly over the curb and down at turn 1, but we find an avenue around the outside there. We've still got, I think that's Liam Lawson on the inside there off the corner, but immediately posting ourselves up then to P7 of the race there. Like I said, being nice and aggressive off the start here has boosted us up the order and immediately put a couple of cars between myself and Drugovich. There is all Lawson. Tries to send it back down the inside, down at a Tosa hairpin there. Of course, wave to me on the outside of the corner, but side by side up the hill when we go. With Liam Lawson here, up into... Whoa! Ollie Caldwell, contact with Liam Lawson as well there. We just got a bit caught out, and then suddenly, what went from a really great start there for us has turned out to a bit of a nightmare. Down into P12 of the race. We picked up a tiny bit of front wing damage, but that didn't cost us much in Jeddah, so I don't think it will here today. But when are we going to get a clean and tidy lap 1 as immediately on the offensive, though, sending it up the inside of Logan Sargent there? I think Caldwell again just getting a bit caught out, but it was a very, very aggressive move from our young British driver, of course, but he made it work. But I wonder now if already he's just struggling a little bit here, as can we try and get a run back on Drugovich out of the final corner. Dennis Hauger, a good start then up into P9 there, as we've definitely lost a little bit of downforce through the final couple of corners. Cordeal leads the way. I think it's Richard Verschaw, I want to say, in P2 there. In fact, it might be the other Trident of Callan Williams up in second place provisionally early on in the race. But we're down to 11th then by the end of lap 1, as Ollie Caldwell is certainly struggling in that Campos car. They're all over the road down through turn 1. And hopefully that's going to mean for Drugovich, Hauger and I, we can try and go on the offensive quite quickly there, as Drugovich again just a little bit offline as we head through the second chicane there, but collects it all up, gathers the car up nicely off the corner there, and doesn't allow us any opportunity just yet. Again, can't quite get the run at Tosa, so we'll stay in P13 for now. Big gap already opening up to Logan Sargent just behind us there, as Lawson still trying to pull away from Ollie Caldwell, who's in a Red Bull Junior driver sandwich. Drugovich, though, a little bit of a kick of oversteer out of the final corner. We're immediately going to have to pull to the left-hand side of the Brazilian here, as DRS now enabled here in Imola, but we're going to try and get a run back down towards someone there side by side with our big title rival in his MP Motorsport car there. Brake just a few inches later back in towards the first turn, and that's going to promote us up into P10 then of this race there. Just pushing Drugovich back down the roster slightly, as he might try and have again a bit of a look in towards turn 4. Thinks better of it. Felipe Drugovich, of course, won his title campaign in F2 in real life just by playing it smart, being sensible. Similar fashion to Oscar Piastri just 1 year prior there. As again a big kick of oversteer though, and Drugovich going to come straight back around the outside there. Plenty of mistakes by the pair of us. Tiny bit of wheel banging as I try to squeeze him up towards the top of the hill. Drugovich and I just tripping over each other early on in this race. You can see he's going to try and go defensive. Whoa, into Aqua Minerale. You don't need to do that there, mate. It's not a corner, but you can often make overtakes. His big kick of oversteer again. Both of us really chucking the car around. Oh, again, though, Drugovich just doesn't seem to quite get the hang of that final corner at the moment, as this time round we're going to get the DRS there, and I don't think he's got it. So this one should be a bit of an easier move there as we try and get the run back down towards someone there. Lap 4 of 13 already in this race, and we do this time around just about slot in front of the MP Motorsport man, but he tries to have a look back up the inside there down in turn 1. We give him the room, but we don't give him any more than he's absolutely required. Back into P10 then of this race, but Hauger and Caldwell have been able to break free up the road. They're now trying to apply some pressure to Liam Lawson once more. Oh, we've got yellow flags out. Someone's got issues. I wonder if it's Liam Lawson just up the road. No, I think they're okay. It's someone much, much further back. Is it Roy Nassani? He might be going slowly in this Grand Prix. Of course, I actually got to watch Roy Nassani bottle the potential race victory he could have had here at Imola in real life in 2022, but I don't know which car it is. It might not even be a Dan's car, to be honest. I'm still not great at seeing the colours. No, it is Roy Nassani. If I had £1 for every time that happened, I'd be a few quid richer. We get closer to half race distance, then we have closed up the gap to Dennis Hauger. There is Ollie Caldwell, new fastest lap of the day, of course helped by the DRS that he got. I'm not sure how that isn't a safety car, because Roy Nassani is just left stranded on the run back down towards turn 1 there, but you know, we're starting to take a bit of time out of Hauger again, starting to build up more confidence in the car. Imola in the F2 cars, I know I did a league race round here in these cars last year. It's very, very good fun, and if you want more Formula 2 content, there should be some now up on my second channel from the same league. Decided to rejoin again in 2022. Just goes to show how fun I do find these cars. But yeah, go check it out over on my second channel if you want more Formula 2. Starting to feel like we're building up some confidence against Dennis Hauger in his Prima car there as well. Just braking a little bit later. They're so scared to run into the back of the car in front and maybe pick up some proper front wing damage as well. Lawson and Hauger, they're both not getting a particularly good run out of the final corner. Surely this is new fast lap of the day. Yes, it is. 27.4 there. Steal those fastest lap bonus points away from Jack Doohan as we try to have a look around the outside of Hauger back in towards turn 1. Hauger just having none of it though. In towards that first corner there, kept the car in front, slammed the door, and we'll have to sit looking at Red Bull logos for yet another lap. It's actually Liam Lawson out of the three of us that's really struggling at the moment. Of course, the young Kiwi inside the point scoring positions as of right now. But we just need to try and make some inroads on both Lawson and Hauger. They're out in the final corner once more. Oh, big wobble, I think, from all three of us this time round as Lawson... Oh, no, sorry, yeah, Lawson has still got the DRS there, but Hauger has got quite a run, actually, out of the final corner. Will Dennis Hauger be able to have a look against one of the other Red Bull juniors here? Lawson's going to go defensive in towards turn 1. How can we potentially try and capitalise from this through the first couple of corners? There's plenty of contact. Hauger getting his elbows out, and Lawson's going to get caught out because of that. We're going to try and have a look to the inside now at Dennis Hauger, but can't quite make anything happen. It's all getting a bit nip and tuck at this stage of the day there. 6 laps to go from Imola. Hauger now up into P8. We're now up into P9 of the race, but yeah, Liam Lawson spent a lot of the early laps inside the top 10. We've got more yellow flags out. Who now has got issues in this race? I think it's another car behind us. But now, yeah, Hauger, the car separating us from a points main position here. Is that the other Dams car? I would say it's the other Dams car. So Umu Iwasa, both Dams out of the at the sprint race here. They have been well and truly mecha-chromed as contact between myself and Dennis Hauger as we try and find some space heading up the hill. It's all getting a little bit chaotic still as Hauger there doesn't get the run off the chicane. Are we now going to be able to have a look up the inside, down in towards the final couple of corners of the lap there? We're just trying to keep the nose alongside Dennis Hauger to the inside. No, not brave enough that time round on the brakes, but surely we'll get the DRS out of the final corner. It'd be helpful if I actually got a good run at the final turn, which I absolutely have not. Hauger's going to pull away from us. Luckily, we'll have the DRS to try and defend from Lawson, who's still going to be getting a whole lot closer as we head back down towards turn 1 there. Just sit defensive. Lawson nowhere to go in towards that first corner, but we're going to have to wait another lap to try and pull off the move on Hauger. Or perhaps we're not. Suddenly, not a very good run at the first chicane once more. To the inside of Dennis Hauger. He turns in on me. No! Hauger, why? He just turned in on me. Down at the second chicane, sorry. Somehow we haven't lost any places because of it. Lawson now trying to have a look as well. The sprint race is becoming carnage here in Imola, but Hauger just wasn't happy with me, turned in, and just tried to turn me round. Well, 3 laps to go. The red mist has well and truly descended for us. We are not going to let Hauger get away with those antics down at the second chicane there, and you can just see, I think it is now Richard Forshaw who leads the way ahead of Cordeal. Pride, yeah, seem to be pretty competitive this year. Both of their cars and drivers doing pretty well at the moment. So we're trying to get the run at the final corner. We're not going to be close enough to Hauger this time round, but we are certainly, yeah, just going to try and apply more pressure. There's another new fast lap of the day. Goes to show when we've got some clear air, just what sort of pace we're capable of. But I don't want Hauger scoring a point after those antics earlier on. I want to try and snatch that point away, and also, of course, we need it for the bonus point for the fastest lap as Drugovic moves past Lawson behind. Dennis Hauger does not seem to be able to get the run out of the chicane at the top of the hill there, and you can just see as we head down in towards the final couple of turns, it does weirdly often mean he's able to brake super late in towards that final corner there. But why can't I get the run at the final turn anymore? Early on in this race we were really good out of there, and now I just can't seem to get the line right. But we are tucked up in the wheel tracks of the young Norwegian driver as we head back down towards turn 1. 2 laps to go here in Imola, and look at that, Hauger again trying to give me a big old squeeze down at the first corner. Can we try and get a run off of turn 3 this time round? Again, not quite happening, as luckily for us, Lawson and Drugovic further back still duking it out here, which is allowing us to just continue to build up a gap over the pair of them, but like I said, the red mist has well and truly descended for me. I do not want HAUGER walking away with that point over myself at the moment as we head back up the hill. HAUGER just able to pull away there. We just can't quite get the power down out of Tosa. Seem to lose half a tenth or so every time. There's... Whoa, off the top of the hill. Big wobble as the car bottomed out over the curbing. Luckily, just one quick correct of the oversteer, and we do stay within range of Dennis HAUGER there. A lot of the cars slipping and sliding, really struggling with the big curbs around this circuit, but down in towards the chicane for the penultimate time here again. HAUGER just gets a bit of a wobble, but we can't quite put the power down as we were again rattling over the curbs. One more lap to go here from Imola. It looks like it's going to be once more a last lap sprint race battle here that could decide who gets some points and just how many they get. It's out of the final corner. HAUGER now really trying to put the power down. Tyre wear warning light has flashed up as well. Are we going to be able to get a run on the young Norwegian as we stay tucked up in the wheel tracks as we head back down towards turn 1 there? He tries to make that Kramer as wide as he can in towards the first corner there. Brake as late as we dare. Big understeer moment though as we rattle over the curbs. Just couldn't quite get the front end where we wanted it there. Just bottomed out over that curbing and just ran a little bit wide through turn 1. Luckily that we didn't rattle over him back into Dennis HAUGER. The gap opens up to 0.8 of a second between us, but I'm not going to give up just yet. If we can get around the rest of the lap tidy, if he gets another bad run at the chicane, we might still be close enough here, as it looks like Richard Verschoor is going to take the sprint race victory here today ahead of Amory Cordial there. That was a golden opportunity for Van Amersfoort to try and get a win on the board, of course, in their first year in Formula 2, but for us, we've still got to try and close up to Dennis HAUGER once more there, and it's not happening. The gap's still hovering at about 0.8 of a second as we head in towards the final few corners of this race there. Really attack the curbs nice and tidy that time round, but just can't put the power down. Off the exit through the final corner, Richard Verschoor, if I'm not mistaken, is going to walk away with the race victory here today. Out of the final turn he goes, and it is going to be, no, sorry, it's Callan Williams even that walks away with the dub there. Amory Cordial will come through for P2. Jack Doohan's got a 5-second penalty, but it'll make no difference.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
So another fantastic victory for Trident today. And Davide Valsecchi, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
I think they kept a cool head. That's why they won today. Smooth, steady, everything bad that happened to them, they handled it calmly and professionally. That's what let them focus on getting the best out of everything else. The car, the strategy, they managed to keep out of trouble the whole way around.
It's the part we've all been waiting for, the podium finish, and it's probably one of the more unexpected finishes in a while. Trident take the victory, and Trident have made huge strides within F2 recently, and today proves that they're not only still in the race, but they're in it to win. Congratulations to everyone on the team. It was not the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver of the day?
Lots of drivers impressed me today, Alex. But if I have to say one that impressed me most, it's Callan Williams.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Teams' Championship. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. Meanwhile, Prema have improved their position. A strong weekend for them as they fight their way to the top. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
Well, there we are then, the end of the sprint race here from Imola, and it is Callan Williams who walks away with the victory there. 1.1 seconds clear of Amory Cordial from third on the grid. Very, very good job done by them. Marina Sato in P3 for UNI Virtuosi. Richard Verschoor, in P4 there, so Trident still got a healthy handful of points from the race there. Ollie Caldwell, of course, the cork in the bottle early on in this one, does come through for P5 there. Jack Doohan down in 7th place. He would have been P3, so not too sure what the second Virtuosi driver did, but he does still finish out just ahead of Dennis Hauger in a Prima sandwich there. We do get our bonus point because we finished inside the top 10 there, which means, yeah, we did score 1. We've taken 1 point out of Felipe Drugovich in the championship. They're 9th to 9th in the end. Doesn't look particularly good on paper, but what a race it was. You can see Jem Bollock-Bassi down in P15 there. Means championship-wise, we're up in... No, we're not even up into P2 because Callan Williams has jumped us. We're still in P3 then, just ahead of Jem Bollock-Bassi there. Sato jumps Awasa in the battle for the best Japanese driver. Cordeal now leapfrogs his way up into 12th place ahead of plenty of cars, including Yuri Vips. It's been a long time since he scored those points out in the Bahrain sprint race there. Richard Verschoor now up into 16th place. Just Hughes, Armstrong, Nassani and Boschung still yet to score early on this year. MP Motorsport still 1 point ahead of ART though. Trident now leapfrogged their way up into P3 ahead of Charu, tied with Virtuosi. Carlin down to 6th. Prema, Dams, Van Amersfoort, Jump Campos and Hitech there into P9. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well, and we will return tomorrow ready for the feature event. You do not want to miss that. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.